I can clearly see, my gorgeous Gemini, how much you are going to be worrying about something really, really specific, which has been on your mind for a while. Now you're entering a really important stage of your spiritual journey. And now what you need to understand, in order to move forward with your life, you need to be as open-minded as you possibly can. That in itself, it's gonna be connected to this kind of experience which you are gonna have at the beginning of this week. Something is going to happen to you after that moment in time, but it's actually going to be really, really good. It's going to be brilliant. So it's actually quite important to state and to say what exactly you're gonna be worrying about, because what exactly you're gonna be worrying about, this experience which you are gonna have a little bit after that moment in time, it's gonna be really good experience. It's going to be a positive experience, but it's at the same time bringing an important revelation. When I say that it's bringing an important revelation, that in itself means that you are unnecessarily worrying about something. Number one, you're gonna realize that you're unnecessarily worrying about something, and number two, this experience which you are going to have, this revelation which you are going to have, it's also going to open your eyes, and you are gonna start trusting yourself about something really, really specific. When I say that you're gonna start trusting yourself, it's more about you having the full strength, force, and power to actually have this energy in order to move away from something, to abandon something, to walk away from a certain aspect of your life that is doing nothing to you but just makes you worried. This in itself is also preventing you to move on. When it comes to you kind of like really becoming aware of new horizons in your lives and things like that, you haven't been able to connect to as much as you were able to connect in the past. And this is because there was persistently something at the back of your mind that has been keep on worrying you so much. And when you realize what this is, my gorgeous Gemini, you're gonna realize that it's to do with something that has come to an end like a while ago. It's to do with an aspect of your life that karmically has come to an end, and now it's gonna feel like dark, heavy, and negative until you're able to establish what exactly this is. And only then, my gorgeous Gemini, you will be able to see things in a different light and literally move on. And that's exactly what's happening right now. So this is why this is so important. Not only that you're gonna have the beginning of a very much so a meaningful experience, the beginning of a very, very meaningful experience, which is going to open your eyes, because at the same time you are going to find solution and you're going to take control over your life. And that's why I say that you're gonna trust yourself. This in itself is gonna be so important, because at the same time you are gonna become aware of this ending that is going to lead to new beginnings. And this is why I say that this is something which is going to broaden your horizons, and there is already a very, very important opportunity you're gonna have at the end of this week. You would never, ever, ever have this otherwise, and you would never connect to this opportunity in the first place if all these things didn't unfold and happen the way they're unfolding and happening right now. My God, this is gonna turn out to be way more important than you could have possibly imagined. So you are gonna realize exactly what has come to an end and what do you need to walk away from. This in itself, just remember, it is the time of release, but it's also the time of a new beginning. And that means that, as I said before, it's to do with an ending that is going to lead to new beginning, and that is going to further lead towards you realizing it's about the need to release situations or people people that are actually holding you back right now. You see, it is to do with situations and people that you need to release right now because they are holding you back. Because this is to do with your life, to do with your journey, and most importantly, to do with your spiritual transformation. You are literally going through. I mean, come on, you are going through this spiritual transformation, and that means that also you are gonna, my God, gonna get some kind of news and message at the beginning of this week, and this news and message is gonna require from you to go somewhere urgently, 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 urgently. And once you go wherever you need to go urgently, once you get to that destination, my gorgeous Gemini, something is really gonna happen very, very unusual. Something really unusual is going to happen, my gorgeous Gemini, but that I mean in terms of the actual spirituality. You are gonna kind of, it is gonna be like a very unusual experience, but a really spiritual experience. And now this in itself is gonna be really important, because on one hand, you are clearly going to realize what are you doing wrong and what have you been doing wrong, okay, for a long time, but you didn't know. This in itself is going to provide you with a very specific information. And another thing that you're going to realize when it comes to that unusual spiritual experience, you're going to realize that, you know, there is something that you used to do for a very long time in terms of spirituality. Maybe you were reading a certain signs, maybe you were using crystals more, maybe you were smudging home, like, you know, with a dry sage, but something is gonna come bum 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 into your mind as well. Aha, my God, I haven't done this in ages. How weird that I just remembered this. My baby, follow these sacred instructions. You have to follow these sacred instructions. So let's say it's happening at the right time, within the right dimension. So let's say you have an indication, oh my God, suddenly you're gonna remember something that you used to do in terms of spirituality, and suddenly you will remember something and you will feel the need to do that. For example, if it comes to you, I want to smudge my home, now suddenly, oh, I didn't smudge my home in absolute ages, in absolute centuries, how weird. And then you go home, whenever, and I mean, whenever you start that process, smudging your home, and you have this message and indication in your mind, and it feels different, it feels it's like coming from somewhere else, my God, that's your message, you will know. As soon as you come home, as soon as you kind of start smudging your home, whether you do that that day, or you do it the next day, or do it in 3 days, it doesn't matter. You're still following something very, very important, something very sacred. So as soon as you start the process of smudging, okay, like a burning dry sage with another word, for example, then I am telling you that there is going to be an intuitive message you are going to get. Something it's gonna come to you, an important intuitive message. And that intuitive message is like, oh my God, gonna be so important, it's gonna shake you in the best possible way. That intuitive message is pretty much so a lot to do with you, a kind of seeing the beauty in something you've never seen the beauty before. And on another note, that also it's going to be a very important essence at this stage of your life, which is most certainly going to light up, it's going to light your path. This is going to light your own path. So this is why this is going to be important, so important. This is going to be such an important sacred bonus, a literally spiritual bonus. I don't know how else to call it, because it's just so important. And otherwise, this powerful message, you really would need to wait for a very long time to kind of have and get again, because it's not only about you seeing the beauty in something you've never seen before. It's not only about you lighting your own path, my gorgeous Gemini, but it's at the same time, it's like you're gonna start thinking, this is gonna really open you up so beautifully. It's gonna open you up so beautifully. You know why? Because it is gonna show you kind of what to focus on. It's not only about seeing the beauty in something you've never seen before. It's not only about you lighting your own path, my gorgeous Gemini, but it's about you also kind of starting to think about what exactly you desire. And this in itself, it's an important time to mention that you have to set your sights high right now and expect the best possible outcome, because that's exactly where all this, my gorgeous Gemini, it's actually going to be leading towards. Absolutely brilliant indeed. And also, going back to the beginning of this week, you are kind of also going to feel just a little bit like you've lost your way a little bit. At around the beginning of this week, my gorgeous Gemini, you're going to be thinking like you lost your way a little bit. So there are going to be some kind of a negative thoughts on your mind. And then you're going to realize that, these negative thoughts on your mind that you are going to have, you're going to realize that you have to pretty much so release this negative thinking, and you have to open to new perspectives. This is so important. And this in itself, it's really kind of, you're going to give a little signal to your soul, little signal to your spirit, instead of standing in your own way. So now this is going to happen after this. You're going to be thinking, you're going to have like a little contemplation about something, and you're going to be thinking how you lost your way a little bit, but then again, it's a lot about you will be thinking about your life in general, about your own independence and things like that. So this is going to trigger other things within you which are ever so important, and I will tell you why. Because only 2 or 3 days after that moment in time, my goodness, a really nice phone call, a really nice message, a really nice information. This is brilliant, my gorgeous Gemini. It's about this reward. You're gonna find this so rewarding, and it's going to surprise you. Maybe it's to do with something that you did not expect an outcome whatsoever, or maybe it's to do with something that you had problems with, but when you become aware of like what exactly it's going to bring this lovely little reward into your life, this is going to mean to you so much, and you are going to be thinking about having some kind of like a personal celebration. This will be very, very personal to you, but it's also at the same time going to highlight an important skill of yours, which you should never, ever, ever ignore. Now it's time to really start taking that skill on the next level. That skill of yours, it's what makes you different, what makes you unique. That skill of yours is going to be primarily responsible when it comes to you getting out of your life like so much more that you're actually getting right now. And it could be something really tiny, something really little, which is most certainly going to become enormous like very, very soon. And when it comes to that reward also, this in itself, it's going to make you feel extremely good about yourself. You will be able to chill out. You will be able to relax. You're instantly going to start becoming so creative. Instantly you're going to have so much on your mind. So in terms of energy, this is something which is going to revive you like there is no tomorrow. But at the same time, this is also going to be so beneficial when it comes to your finances and when it comes to your financial situation, something about your security in the future that maybe you were like kind of worrying about. So this is also to do with the stability and security. You're really going to be able to move on and relax at the same time. But now it's not only about something that you were worrying about. You were worrying about because of that reward didn't happen, because that reward wasn't happening. It's something that happened a while back, and there was a certain step and move that you were really into something, you were really kind of doing great, and then other things came up, and then maybe there was a negative change in circumstances that you were affected by, and maybe you just forgot about it for a little while. But what was on your mind with all this was making a certain step, certain move, which now you will be able to make. And that certain step and certain move, you could couldn't make before, it's because your hands were tied behind your back and you were like in a kind of like some kind of like a self-imposed prison again. So that's what I'm saying, is just so important to keep on remembering that right now at this stage you need to be as open-minded as you can. The more open-minded you are, especially this week, the more you're going to move on and more you're actually going to get out of it. This is brilliant when it comes to your personal transition, but also when it comes to you making an important step to secure something really, really specific when it comes to your future. This is going to make you feel really good, really brilliant, really powerful, but it's also going to make you feel so secure, like there is no tomorrow. This is absolutely brilliant. You are going to be very, very proud of yourself indeed, and you are really, really going to start having that sense of, oh my God, things are finally happening, things are finally moving on, my gorgeous Gemini. So this is why this is so this is going to be so important indeed. And also, my gorgeous Gemini, by the time you get to the meat part of this week, by the time you get to the meat part of this week, oh my God, there is some kind of clarification that you are gonna feel like you need to seek. Some kind of clarification. This is gonna be on your mind and it's gonna be driving you nuts, seriously. Some kind of clarification. This clarification is really gonna help you to move on. There is something that's still preventing you to move on with your life. It's some kind of clarification that you're gonna see, you're gonna be having here. And this clarification, this in itself, it's really kind of, trust me, you will be aware of this. So you will really kind of be in this, you will be thinking about this clarification, and that in itself, it's so important to follow, because at the same time, it's to do with some kind of emotional challenge. This clarification which you're gonna see, which you're gonna need, it's gonna be connected to some kind of emotional challenge you've been actually dealing with. And you know what? It's really, really important to say that your balance is actually going to be restored. However, you decide to seek this clarification, or whatever this clarification is, you need to understand that this in itself is actually gonna have a really, really positive and important outcome when it comes to your soul and when it comes to your spirit, and your balance is indeed going to be restored. That is so important for your balance to be restored, because not that long after that moment in time, you are gonna really realize that you have to hurry up with some kind of decision. You're gonna realize, oh my God, I need to make this decision. It's just so important. And this decision that you're gonna realize that you need to make, on another hand, it's again like to do with an element of your life that has been making you feel like it's to do with an element of your life that it's like, this decision that you're not going to make, it's to do with an element of your life that really has been a kind of like, you've been like kind of doubting certain things so much, and you've been in two minds for so long. You've been doubting yourself because of this. So this decision that you're going to make, which is going to be like ever so important, it's about making a certain step, making a certain move again. But this in itself is to do with a specific project. This is to do with a specific project. Listen to me very carefully. Maybe I should have started this reading like that at around the midweek. It's all about this really, really important project. You need to do something about this important project, okay? Because this is going to turn out to be something absolutely super successful for you, but it's at the same time going to really start such a beautiful stage of your life. I know you've been through so much. I know things have been very, very difficult. I know that there were certain people in your life that have been causing you so many problems and so many issues lately. my gorgeous Gemini, but this has been going on for a while now, maybe for like about a couple of years. Things have been like a literally up and down. Not only one, but maybe a couple of people in your life have been like kind of causing so many issues and so many problems, and that has been going on for so long that this energy just became really, really stale, and this energy is now like really not very good, and it's affecting you and it's draining you. So, and this energy was also the problems and the difficult issues that you've had with a certain people in your life has actually caused you to be a little bit disconnected with yourself. So now you're reconnecting with yourself. For the love of God, I know I talk a lot. I know I say lots of information, but I really hope that you're going to realize it around the midweek, one specific project is going to be on your mind. You need to do something about it. You need to make this certain move. You need to do something about it. You need to go forward with that step that you know that you're going to need to make, because at the same time you are, my God, you're going to do something remarkable. It's to do with something that you're passionate about. It's to do with something that means to you so much, and it's also to do with an element that this is actually going to bring into your life when it comes to like a certain things that have been missing for a while. And this now, it's really gonna kind of start, it's going to start that process. Don't know what is that. It's gonna start that process of like where you are going to align yourself really, really nicely, my gorgeous Gemini. But also at the same time, you know, when it comes to like that step, that move that you need to make, it's to do with some kind of a project. This is so important, okay? And this has been on your mind for a while, but at the same time, as soon as you make this first move, as soon as you make that first step when it comes to that project as well, this is also going to start a process where somebody very, very special is going to enter your life. Very, very special, like really, really soon, like really quickly. And when I say somebody very special, it's about to enter your life. This is when things are going to start becoming very, very interesting indeed. When you meet this person, you're going to feel like you knew this person for a very long time. This is because this is actually most likely going to be somebody who you know actually from your past life. It's going to be really weird, but what can I say? You are reaching such a powerful stage of your personal enlightening, and that means that, you know, there are certain things that are going to be happening to you as a direct positive things, as a direct result of the positive actions that you're going to be taking. But this is going to be going on a completely different level, like a very spiritual level, where you are going to start realizing so much about yourself, so much about your life, and especially what have you been missing and what are you missing in your life. You know, it's going to come through that wonderful person who is going to come into your life, but that person is not going to come into your life immediately, but it's going to come to your life because of this step when it comes to that project which you are going to make. So this is why this is going to be so important indeed. By the time you get to the last part of this week, my gorgeous Gemini, my goodness, by the time you get to the last part of this week, there is somebody very clever, very smart, very intelligent, but also very, very spiritual. The certain person in your life who you normally listen to, the certain person in your life who you get on with, the certain person who you really kind of appreciate, but this person is very psychic, very intuitive, and very, very spiritual. That particular person you are connected to, that particular person you talk to ever so often, and that particular person means to you so much. Well, that particular person is actually going to get in touch with you, and they are going to make you aware of something really specific that you need to pay attention to, and this is to actually protect yourself. What that person is going to tell you, it's going to sound really scary, it's going to sound really weird, and first of all, you're going to find it ludicrous, but then again, at the same time, it's coming from somebody who knows what they are talking about, like all the time. So you will know that they are talking about something genuine here indeed. And this is going to sound crazy because it's nothing to do with your life in particular, but it's to do with what that person knows and what that person became aware of the other things on the outside. So you will know to pay attention to something, but you will also know that now it's time to kind of like start thinking about making certain plans. If something goes wrong on the outside, then you know that you have certain plans intact. I really hope that makes sense, you know, but it's important. So you are going to get invaluable information to pay attention to something really crazy happening on on the outside, okay? And first of all, you're going to find it ludicrous and crazy, but then you're going to be like, no, 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 it's coming from the person who knows what they're talking about. So please do not kind of ignore what this person is going to say, but you're not going to ignore it, because it's somebody who's very, very much so consistent in your life. That person is also going to make you aware of like what you should be investing in as well at this stage. That person is also going to make you aware of what you should be investing. And I'm not saying like, oh, you're listening to other people where you should be doing all the time. No, 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 baby, no. I'm talking about somebody like really specific and somebody very, very special in your life indeed. And also, my gorgeous Gemini, at around the end of this week, you know that you are really kind of gonna see something, maybe a photograph, or you're gonna read something, you're gonna come across something, and it's gonna remind you of like a happy times, you know, it's gonna remind you of a happy times. But it's also somehow through your own memories, you will understand there is some kind of a bastard we are talking about here, a bastard here. You know, and this person is in your life. This person is you know, somebody who's like in your life, somebody who's like maybe family member, somebody who you had so many problems with, you know, and somehow, first of all, you're going to be thinking about happy times, and then suddenly you're going to remember this person, some kind of a bastard, and I'm sorry, but this person is in your life now, and this person has been doing like bad things throughout their life, and you're going to be reminded of something bad or negative they've done. Like they took something, they stole something or something like that. And then you're going to be thinking, my God, that bloody bastard never changed, you know. And you are like going to have this confirmation about this specific person in your life who is like, you know, that you had problems with this person. It's somebody who is like probably lying a lot, somebody who's like maybe even stealing, even cheating, somebody who's a little bit dishonest. But you know all this, and perhaps it's a certain family member, and then it's like, oh God, you know. But now, for some reason, you will be reminded of this, and this is important. This is important because later on you will have a challenge, a little challenge that you will be going through when it comes to that person, and that person will want you to respond to something in a specific way, but you shouldn't. You should respond how you want to respond. I know it sounds really crazy, but you should be stubborn with something. Keep on being stubborn with something. That person is going to question you when you have a conversation later, but you just need to keep on being very stubborn about something really specific, okay? You are doing the right thing. You are on the right path, and that's why you had to be reminded, like through the power of your own intuition, by reconnecting with your past, like which element of your life you need to kind of pay attention to right now, because you're going to need this. You're going to need to keep on being stubborn with something really specific. Otherwise, you know, you don't want to like somebody to take an advantage of you unnecessarily. I repeat, it's to do with something that you want to do and that other person doesn't want you to do, but you need to keep on being stubborn, my gorgeous Gemini, like there is no tomorrow. You are making the right choice here indeed. Okay, my gorgeous Gemini, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.